What's up, everybody? Um, Firstly, I just want to give you all the viewing pleasure again of the Boo Cat. Oh, it's very purry and lovey right now. I don't know how long this will last. So, for quite a while, she's so silly. Mew. For quite a while, I've been wanting to make a video on life after narcissistic abuse, but really, I really didn't know how to describe or explain it, put it into words, really. And then today, a metaphor just hit me that made perfect sense. Um, Now, this would explain narcissistic relationships in your adulthood, because obviously, narcissistic abuse when you're a child, you don't have any control of whatsoever. And that's an entirely different kind of topic. But a narcissistic relationship in your adulthood, to me, the metaphor that I figure out is a lot like a very, very traumatic car accident. Let's say that you were at a red light, first in line, light turns green, you don't look both ways, you just see the green light, you start going, boom, you're T-boned. They hit you on your driver's side door, and you're fucked. I mean, you just get rocked. First things first, what's going to happen is, in this highly traumatic situation where most of your bones are broken, your pelvis is shattered, and your ribs are broken, and your lungs are punctured, and all these terrible, terrible things have happened to you, you're in a state of shock. Your adrenaline is rushing, and you're not even aware of what happened. You just know that you are indeed in some serious fucking trouble. The next thing you know, you wake up in the hospital and you are in complete and utter and absolute terrible, awful pain. And that's all you can think about. It's this fucking hurts. This is painful. Painful, painful, painful. Um, this is awful. This sucks. This is the most terrible thing that could have happened to me. Um, and I'm sure at some points, if you were in that position, you'd think about, eh, maybe life is not worth living at this point. Eventually, you get doctored up per se, and eventually you leave the hospital and you're going to start your physical therapy. And during your physical therapy, it sucks fucking dick. The only thing you think about all day, every day, is how much this sucks, how painful it is, how much work it is, how are you ever going to get through this? This is such a dedication and work that you just don't know if you're going to be able to do it. And then eventually you get through your physical therapy, you start walking again, and you're more or less normal again. But things still kind of hurt. And then maybe a few months later, you get well enough to where you start driving again. And then you start driving again, and all you have are the flashbacks, the triggers, the fear, the anxiety, the oh my god, will this happen again? Will this happen again? Will this happen again? Oh my god, fuck, fuck, fuck. You're scared. You're scared shitless to drive again. But then one day in the distant future of all that, you walk out to your car, you get in it, and you start driving. And you enjoy it again. Things are normal again. And, all of the previous car accident, all those, days in the hospital, all the treacherous days of physical therapy, and all that becomes a past story, a distant story, a side note to your life. It just happened. It's not who I am now, just continuing to live life. And this is the exact metaphor for a narcissistic relationship. The trauma, the shit, it hits you, you get just completely, for lack of a better word, traumatized, and you get that adrenaline up, and you don't know what the fuck is going on. You wake up in pain, and you're basically disabled for a prolonged period of time. After being disabled and finally being able to function again is a prolonged period of learning how to live again, learning how to be yourself again, learning how to walk again. And that's probably the longest period of all of it, is that PT period. But then again, if you do your due diligence and you work and you strive to get better, much like you would have to in physical therapy, one day, you get in your car and you're able to drive again. At first, you have the flashbacks, yes, but eventually those fade away as well. And then one day you can drive and turn up the radio and just enjoy the experience again. And this is the exact correlation to what life is like after a narcissistic relationship. Um, that's just the best way that I could possibly put it. It will end. It does end. I'm at the area now where I can just live my life. And narcissism, yes, is it still an interesting topic to me? It is. Do I still enjoy discussing it and teaching people about it? Absolutely. But ultimately, it's a side note. It no longer dictates my life. When I wake up in the morning, it's not the first thing I think about. I don't reminisce and rehash and dwell over how much it ruined my life and what a bad thing it was. It's really just become a thing of the past, a side note to my entire life story. So, really, what I want to say here and what I want you to see here is that there is light at the end of the tunnel if you're just starting this, or if you're still in the hospital, or if you're still in PT. It does get better. The day comes where it doesn't matter anymore and it just becomes mostly irrelevant. Uh, but with all that being said, one thing and one thing only sticks. Given the example of the car wreck when you didn't look before going through a green light, the one thing that sticks the next time you drive, and every time here on out in the rest of your life, when you drive, you will look both ways before going through a green light to make sure that traffic has stopped. You can enjoy driving again. You can walk again. You can live again. But you will always look both ways before going through a green light. And that is just the best metaphor I can possibly make to what life is like after a narcissistic relationship. I could not describe it any better way. Um, it all fades away, but the lessons stay. So let this just be a hopeful message to y'all out there that are dealing with it. It does get better, and the lessons stay. Once a lot of people they worry about, well, God, I was in a narcissistic relationship once. What happens if it happens again? And I promise you that if you work through the physical therapy, you work through the fucking trauma, you work through all that shit, there is no going back. You will always, always for the rest of your life look both ways before you go through that light. That's about it. Let me know what you think, and I got a bunch of other videos I want to do too, which are not so much about narcissism, but I hope you stay tuned and still enjoy my channel. Alright guys.